Well, hello, boys and girls. We are live with season 4 of the eDTM, and we find ourselves at race 2 here at Fuji. And I'm just going to get myself set up, and we are going to be with you, and it's going to be an absolute cracker of a race for you today. Hey Kaylin, how are we doing, sir? I've just noticed you're out on track as well. It's good to see you. I wish you well for the race. Have a little look now, Kaylin. Yeah, not too much, mate. Doesn't look too bad, but yeah, I think you'll be okay, mate. Not too bad. Holman going side by side here as the free practice session continues. I don't think qualifying is quite yet underway. We've got East Town up in P1, but then everyone else is in the pits. That'll of course change as they exit. Kalen also currently holding the fastest lap time during free practice. We are moments away from qualifying kicking off. Okie dokie, Matt. I'm not too sure how to take that, mate. But I can guarantee you there's going to be some action. We've got 4 lobbies this year for the eDTM, and this is the Alien lobby. So we've got the Fast Boys here. I think you'd definitely probably be able to compete with these boys. But Holman currently occupying that fastest lap. Rain on track. I was wondering, to be fair, there was 3 things in my head. That was one of them. The second one was, are we going to get some action? And the third one isn't legal to word out live on YouTube. Either way, I think we are going to most certainly see some potential changes here, especially, I don't know the full ins and outs, but I do know that obviously with it being a set-up lobby, and obviously rain is something that the drivers have wanted, so we'll see whether we get rain. And you can put it on random as well, can't you? So you just never know, but I do hope so, Matt. I do hope so. Now, I'm going to grab myself a drink, sort my YouTube, just going to say hello to everyone, and then it is going to be go time, boys and girls. So don't miss the start in 6 minutes, in case you've got a nip off, and we are going to be kicking this one off. Alrighty then, here we go. We're moments away, just under 4 minutes, my favourite number, from kicking off Season 4 eDTM here at Fuji. Round 2, we'll update you with more information as we progress. I must say, just about to say, it looks absolutely beautiful. Well, I think might be pits now for Declan. Quick dude though, one to watch out for, currently P2 on the free practice leaderboard. Hey, Dirky Dirk, good to see you, my friend. You're most welcome. You are most welcome. We're going to get this party started soon, aren't we? Just over 2 minutes to go before the qualifying session is underway. Place your bets. Holman has held on to that fastest lap for quite some time now, but again, we are in a free practice, and although it can give you a little bit of an inkling into qualifying, it most certainly doesn't give you the end results for the race, and absolutely sending it into the pits there. Okay, so Declan into the pits with a brand new set of Michelin softs. See whether he can capitalise on his time. Probably not though. I don't think he's got time for a lap with his out lap, but nevertheless, there he goes. Kalen now occupying P3, was previously holding the crown for P1, but now Holman is taking that place from my deck. Then Kalen first on the second row. Alto, good to see you, my friend. Pulled into the pits like he was on fire. Can you imagine if that was legal? I love it though. I love it. And Mattila is currently parked up. Excuse me, sir. You can't park there. And the McLaren currently occupying P5. Good evening, Dirk. How are we? Yeah, Holman is a badass, mate. Holman is most certainly one to watch, and he's already proving that right now in the free practice session. Oh, no. Well, I hope you get it sorted. If not, I'll try and entertain you and cheer you up, Dirk. It's got a mouth on the front of the McLaren. Good to see you, Alto. I hope you're keeping well, my friend, and you've looked after yourself today. Pulling over in his orange and green Tic Tac McLaren. And who else have we got here? Let's jump back out to the guys on track. Holman with a penalty. Christian wants to eat his opponents alive. I am sure you do, my friend. I know I can count on you, says Dirk. Well, I'll most certainly try my best. What cars are they using? Okie doke. So, I'm going to run through some more information with you. I have recently jumped on board. I've commentated every year. I've most certainly enjoyed it. Hopefully we can bring you some co-coms in the future. We may even be able to bring you co-coms this evening, but if we don't have you Marco comes, then it will just be me. I'm sure I can keep myself rambling long enough to keep you all occupied. Cherry Bomber with the bomb. Simon is commentating on a different race, mate. Yes. Simon, Jerry. But I can't actually see his stream. There he is. Oh, he's live now. So that link in the chat is the link to Simon's YouTube. If you wanted to go say hello, tell him TMK sent you. There's 4 lobbies, Cherry. There's 4. We've got AM, Pro, and Alien. I'm currently in the Alien as Deck in the Lamborghini pulls over. Kalen giving us some donuts. Give us some more, good sir. And we are now moments away from qualifying kicking off for the eDTM round 2 here at Fuji. And absolutely every race that I have commentated for over the past 3 years, not 3 years, but 3 seasons, they've just been incredible, and they've been a lot of fun, and there's always been action. And there's always races up until the very end, and I feel honoured and privileged to be able to do commentary for the Fast Boys. Cheers, Kalen. That was epic. I appreciate that, mate. Can we all clap it up for Kalen? I have to be in the beginner's lobby. JP out on track in the McLaren. Monday here for the Safas. Good to see you, sir. Who knows, you might be able to spectate in VR and stream it in VR. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Every single camera angle that you go to is then in VR. So I think we are now moments away from qualifying. Rocking the cow livery. Okie dokie then, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Declan's still on the medium tyres. Let's hope he recognises that and actually puts on the medium. No, he's staying with the mediums. Fair enough. He can do what he wants. And Holman is behind. That is another Lamborghini. Okay, so let me find first on track. There we go. So Huskonen first out on track from the outlap here at Fuji for the eDTM. You can see the little alien lobby logo and the alien stickers there. Make sure you've got your phone twisted to the side, and make sure you've got it set to 1080p 60 frames per second, so you can have the most pleasant experience possible. Okie doke, so coming through the final corner then of Fuji, Pig on the front, no AK-14, not yet mate, I'm sure that'll eventually be updated, and that'll be the standard perhaps, but nevertheless we are now on his flying lap. Let's see what he can do. He's actually got some space between himself and the tic-tacked McLaren there. Okay, so he makes his way through the hairpin and up towards the right-hander of 300R, and hard on the brakes into Dunlop corner. Somewhat of a tricky one. Camber loses itself through the exit and up down into the right-hander of turn 13, left-hander of turn 14, into Nets corner here, just missing the clipping the apex of Nets corner there, and into the final corner, Panasonic corner here, into his lap. So what can he provide? Setting on the bar, he is going to be a 1:39.30, and he's been pipped by 0.2 of a second, and now put into third position, fourth position, deck taking third position. JP rocking third position. 0.5 separating himself to Declan there in P6 now, as they all begin to move down. The King of Monza rocking P3, first of the second row of the grid, but of course this is only lap one of the times. Monza P3, East Town P2. And Holman about to put a time down. Let's see what Holman can do here. Currently favourite in the free practice sessions. What can he achieve here as he makes his way to the start finish line here at Fuji? And that's not a lap time for him. So what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we are just going to stay on board for a lap with Holman here as he puts down his first qualifying time, and I'm just curious to see how this one looks and then how that refers to his standing position in the grid. Makes his way into the Audi Sports sign and feathering the brakes there, making sure, look at that, maximizing the available track width there and keeping that average speed to a maximum. It is Group 3, Alto, yes. Sorry, I don't know if I mentioned that, but it is Group 3. So making his way through Dunlop Corner here. And into Nets Corner. Through the right-hander of Panasonic, where is Joe Holman, the American dream, gonna come on the leaderboard as he puts his first lap time down here for the eDTM here at Fuji in the Porsche Group 3. And P1 goes Holman 6/10 of a second, separating himself between him and P1. Matila and King of Monza side by side with Kalen there in P3 and 4 and East in P5. Let's have a little look here, and also that's not going to be able to capitalize on his P2, but we'll see whether he's going to lose that position, as that's 7/10 of a second. And JP putting a time down, and only half a second separating both P2 and P4 there, as he stands in the provisional bronze position. And King of Monza hunting him down with only 0.075 of a second, but also in the pits. You had a feeling it was in the 137s. It's interesting, isn't it? You can sort of tell, can't you? How stable the car is, the engine, how early they're getting on the gas. Now, is this going to cause problems for JP and his lap time, as Mattila is in the pits? I don't know whether this has affected his time, but you can just see the Alien logo there here for the Alien lobby. Like I said, we do have 4 lobbies running tonight. And I'm fortunate enough to watch the Fast Boys get the teeth out here at Fuji and battle it out for the driver's glory of the podium position. It looks like he's going to go into the pits, as is JP. Not really happy with that lap. Probably going to get some fresh softs on. And King of Monza back out, and now in P3. Nice and smooth is the South African. Not looking to put a lap time down. I hope he doesn't get in the way though of Kalen. I was actually just letting Kalen through, actually, his fellow South African. Let's jump on board with Kalen here, who put down a very quick lap time, and look how close these boys are. This is what I said to you at the beginning of the stream. It is going to be close racing. I'm not saying that because I'm trying to keep you here. I'm not saying that because, you know, I'm just trying to say it will genuinely be cracking racing. I've been in different lobbies before, the lower lobbies, and the racing has always been brilliant. We've got different tyre strategies. The strategy is going to be a factor. We've got tyre wear. We've got the weather to come into factor. All these, you know, different situations can occur. It could rain, you just don't know, and it's going to be exciting racing here. Stuart, my brother, I do think about you, my friend. We're going to have to hook up at some point and get back on it. I have got PS5 now. It's been a while, mate. Hope you're well. Finally going to be on PC soon. Great to hear your voice again. That's very kind of you, mate, and it's genuinely lovely to see you, my friend. Genuinely lovely. I hope you're keeping well. It has been a while. And I could join you on PS5 with ACC now, by the way. Just throw that in there. Tim, hello, good sir. I did see you pop in just as I was in the middle of a rant there. We're just going to also stay on board with Kalen here as he makes his way through Dunlop Corner and up towards the penultimate Nets Corner. This left-hander that he approaches now through the penultimate corner goes Kalen, and through turn 16, Panasonic corner. Can Kalen, the South African, a lovely guy as well, can he capitalise on his P7? He's got a .088 of a second to capitalise to take P6 away from Declan. What do we think, boys? Is it going to be a yes or no as he comes to the start-finish line? And he crosses that line, and he puts himself in P4. And not only is he in P4, .070 is separating him between his fellow King of Monza, South African, in P5 there. Congratulations to Caleb, currently taking the second row provisionally as this qualifying session does come to a close. But look how close he was to getting on the front row of the second grid there to JP. 0.005 thousandths of a second. Opal, good to see you, my friend. Cheers to you too, and welcome to the carnage. You've joined at the good time here as it is all about to kick off. Holman still holding off P1, and all drivers here about to put another lap in. Let's see what happens here to the leaderboard. Thank you, Stuart. Thank you for popping in, mate, and we'll see you very soon. And thank you to everyone that smashed that like button as well. Of course, it does help the channel grow. Not able to capitalise on his P4, but Declan putting himself side by side with Holman. Only 3.5 tenths of a second separating those two. We'll see what Holman can do in the race. He is in a pretty stable car, so there shouldn't be too much dramas. But again, we'll have to see what happens with regards to weather conditions and tyre wear, especially with the new update and new models. Holman with a new record, putting himself 0.6 of a second between himself and Declan here, as we stay on board with Declan in the Lamborghini Group 3. Through the final right-hander of Panasonic here, can Declan take Holman off? P1 in the Huracan GT3. Not quite able to knock Holman off there, but he has also gained 0.3 of a second from Holman, and I believe it was only 3.5 tenths of a second last time, so I think he may have actually took P1 there if Holman didn't have an even faster lap on his last lap. Let's have a little look there. Yeah, his last lap was a 1:37.5 and a 1:37.9 last lap for Declan, so here we go. Already incredible action between the drivers here, competing for starting position. Holman's setting another new record, putting that gap between himself and Declan of just short of half a second. Just over 2.5 tenths of a second separating Declan to Kalen in P3. So we've got Porsche, Lamborghini, Porsche, McLaren currently in the top 4. Through Panasonic. And Declan on his final lap. 0.4 of a second. Can the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 do what's needed? Not on this occasion. Only just over 0.1 of a second off his fastest lap. So ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The rest of the drivers finishing up the laps. See whether we get any other changes of position here. So Holman P1 side by side with Deck, Kalen side by side with Jan. Hey, how's it going, sir? Good to see you. Welcome aboard to what is going to be an absolute cracker of a race. The two drivers side by side on the first row of the grid, both into the 37s here. Kalen side by side with Jan in the 911 and V12 Vantage, and JP side by side with the King of Monza, fellow South African of Kalen, again in the V12 Vantage, side by side with the 650S. And the tic-tac of the McLaren is side by side with the Mercedes, as we are now moments away from the green of the eDTM Season 4 Alien Lobby. And again, I have commentated on 95% of all of the races over all 4 seasons, and it has always been incredible action. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are now moments away from kicking off Fuji here for the eDTM. The red lights are up, the engines are revving. Holman side by side with Declan as they get ready. We get the green. Holman looks like he had a really good start there as the Porsche kicks his way off up to turn 1 into Daichi, side by side with the Lamborghini, but also the V12 Vantage. Looks like he's got a pretty decent start, and entry exit there through to turn 1, through up to Coca-Cola corner here into the left, but Declan has taken P1 away from Holman. Holman finding himself in P3 now as Jan takes P2, 4 tenths of a second separating him from the V12 Advantage and the Porsche 911 driven by Joe Holman from America. And just behind him is Kalen, the South African, and just behind him is his fellow South African, the King of Monza. We keep on board with Holman as he hunts down Jan in the V12. He's got the line, there we go, side by side. Is he able to hold on? We've got some action here, we've got some side by side action from the Porsche behind with the Vantage. And Kalen now in P4, the King of Monza still in the tow of Kalen. Declan still holding on to P1 as all drivers now look how close they are as that snake moves its way through the Panasonic corner, and lap 1 is complete. I told you this was going to be a cracker, ladies and gentlemen. Do not avert your eyes. Declan P1, Holman P2, Jan P3, Kalen P4, King of Monza P5, JP P4, Easttown P7, and we've got some action at the back here. Holman in P2, Jan P3, we've got some drama up ahead. And Declan has managed to keep himself out of slipstream range there, only just though out of the danger zone, but now Holman has found his way back in the tow of Declan as Jan in the V12 Advantage throws himself and makes his way up to Dunlop corner here. We've got some close racing between the three at the back. The Corvette, can he hold off? Not quite there, but Holman attacking Declan. The Porsche is hunting down the Raging Bull as they make their way through the final Panasonic corner. You can see the mountain there in the background. And he is under fire from Holman. Is he able to hold off though? He goes defensive. Holman looking to take advantage of the slipstream, now only a tenth of a second. He takes the racing line, he's got that over deck. Is he able to make it happen? He goes to the outside, Declan's on the inside. Lamborghini going sideways, but he is just able to hold off there. And that puts Holman in second position. Again, this is gonna be a cracking fight. Kalen P3, but he looks like he's also under fire from Jan in P4 there. We are going to have to come in between them both. It just looks like Holman is moments away. He's on the inside of Declan. The Lamborghini on the outside line, but has he got a better run? Side by side do they go, fighting for position all the way up to 300R and into Dunlop corner. The Lamborghini just takes position over Holman there. Holman looking to take that position back in the Porsche. It's side by side they go again through Dunlop corner. My good God, this is kicking off, and it's now giving P3 and 4 Kalen Yana, the King of Monza, more ground as they continue to fight it out. I told you it was going to be like this. I told you it was going to be like this. It always is, and we are being treated to incredible racing here. Holman kicking the back end out of that Porsche, but just able to hold on, taking a better line there through Panasonic. Is he able to get a better run out though? Back into slipstream. Kalen hunting down Holman and Declan as Holman takes the outside line. And is he going to be able to get the inside? Declan's not fighting it. They must be side by side. We're going to stay on board here with Kalen and watch this fight for P1 continue. Holman on the inside line, Declan looking to get a better run on the exit, but Holman takes P1 away from Declan. My good God, struggling to keep up with all the action that's unfolding, but nevertheless we've got Jan still in P4. He's just hot on the heels of King is Monza. We've got big shunt there between Kalen and Jan, I believe. Well, nevertheless, the show must go on, of course. There is always going to be racing incidents, there always is. Let's see how the rest of the race progresses as Declan, now nearly 3 seconds up the road from the King of Monza, who's now in a podium position, making his way through Panasonic corner, and a blink of an eye, separating himself between the fight for P1 there, although it is just increasing that gap from P2 to P3. Declan hard on the brakes up into turn 1, Daichi. Into the left-hander of Coca-Cola curve. 1.7 seconds now separating the drivers. King of Monza making his way through, as is Jan. Kalen finding himself in P5. And Easttown P9, 0.3 of a second separating himself between him and P8 in the McLaren. Just that slipstream is P8 to P7 of Huskonen. Leto is made his way into P6 in the Chevrolet Corvette. I had much seat time in that myself, to be fair, but a very capable car. Oh, as he just loses the back end of the powerhouse there. And the drivers now making their way through Panasonic corner and crossing that start-finish line up towards T1. Jump back on board with that pack ahead. Nice racing though, some good lines from the drivers here as they continue to fight for position. Kalen now finding himself in P5, just under 3 seconds, separating himself between Jan in P4, who is 1.2 seconds away from a podium position, currently occupied by the King of Monza. Now a second, closing in to slipstream range. Potential podium here for Jan, but of course we do have a pit stop yet to go, which always changes things up. And again, the drivers are on different tyre compounds as well, which of course does have a drastic effect on final position. It's always an interesting one seeing the drivers come out of the pits when the pit window opens and it closes. Let's see where they are in relation to the other drivers. And the King of Monza now making his way up to turn 1 here at Fuji as he hurtles his way through lap 7, 1.7 seconds separating himself between P2 of Declan there. And now 5 seconds separating himself between him and Holman, the American driver in the Porsche 911, currently leading. Here at Fuji. But it looks like we've got some racing going on here as the fight for P6 is underway. Easttown in P8 in the Mercedes. Hunting them down, maybe able to catch some time as they fight it out. The two McLarens, it's McLaren and the Honda continue to fight it out. Easttown now only a second away, but he is in slipstream range of P6. And he's lost some time there, and he's lost slipstream from P6, and is now given slip to Easttown in P8. Holman with the fastest lap of a 1:37.996, and I'm sure some of the drivers are yet to put the softs on. Some of the drivers will, of course, opted for the mediums for the start of the race. So we don't lose out on some 2 or 3 laps of fresh softs there. And the King of Monza is just holding off position and holding off the danger zone, which of course is slipstream, to Jan in P4. Can he increase that gap, or is it going to shorten as they make their way through the penultimate corner and through Panasonic down the main straight here at Fuji? And that time has increased to over a second and 2/10 there. Holman making his way through turn 1 and up towards Coca-Cola curve. As lap 9 commences, we are closing in towards that halfway mark. It's not going to be long until this is all over, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we do have the pit window to contend with, which most certainly spices things up again. And racing incidents, I'm sure there may be 1 or 2 others, but again, we are in the alien lobby, so there may be a different story here today. We've got some close racing back here again, only half a second separating the fight for P8 as Easttown fights for position here and tries to hold off JP in P9 there, who is hot on the heels of the Mercedes GT3 as they now nearly go side by side. Is he going to go defensive? JP taking the racing line, Easttown taking the more defensive line, but he's giving JP a better exit. Not quite able to make anything happen there. Good driving there between the two drivers out here on track here at Fuji. And through the penultimate corner of Nets and into the right-hander of Panasonic corner and onto that final start-finish straight to kick off lap 10 on the inside line. Just having to come off the gas there, but it looks like he's side by side with Easttown. Mercedes and McLaren fighting for position. And I don't know what's happened there. I don't know whether it's come off the gas but they are side by side coming into turn 1 here at Fuji. Look at that, beautiful driving here between these two. Oh, and he takes that position over Easttown in P9 now. That was a beautiful maneuver there by JP. And now Easttown is back in the hunt of the McLaren there with such a beautiful livery, it must be said. Just going to P8 in the Honda. And the McLaren rocking P6 as he makes his way through the left-hander of Nets. Kalen P5 after his incident. He's only a breath away though from a podium. His fellow South African, you can just see him there up ahead. As Jan just out of slipstream range again, but under a second now. So close is the racing between these. And Declan now fighting to hold off P2. So Kalen is within reach of a P2 here. Potential P1 if Holman messes up. But nevertheless, we have a 4-driver battle here, fighting for P2. Nearly gaining slipstream is Jan. King of Monza doing an incredible job here, both chasing down the Lamborghini in P2 and also holding off Jan in P4. Just in slipstream he was then, but now pulling himself back out and now back in slipstream range. Is Jan able to make anything happen here as he makes his way through the left-hander of Viet and into the right-hander of Panasonic? Can Jan get a good run here? Stay within slipstream range. Is in, is out. What's going to happen here? Not quite able to get the slipstream range of the fastest section of Fuji here, but he is making his way into the pits. So first into the pits is Jan. Soft tyres are on, so he's going to be putting a fresh set of racing medium compounds on, fresh out the tyre blankets. And the Aston Martin boys doing what they do, earning their paycheck. Tyres off, mediums on, down we go, fueling up. It's up to Jan how much fuel he wants to put in. You see Eastham was on the mediums, now he's going to be on the soft. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I'm telling you. Do not be fooled by the distances between the drivers on track, even though it is close between some of them. You are now going to see some fights begin to commence as we are now under way of bringing this race to a close, and we're going to see drivers lose time and gain time and fight for position as Kalen finds himself in P4, but of course is yet to pit. 2.7 seconds separating Kalen and King of Monza, the South Africans, fighting for P3 here, and Declan making his way into the pits in lap 12. Medium tyres, and so he is going to be with a fresh set of softs. So that raises the question, what tyres does Holman have on? Because if he has softs, Declan has all the chances in the world to reel Holman in if he gets a good run here. As he fuels up, decides he has enough and hurtles his way back out on track. Let's hope he doesn't cross that line, I'm sure he won't. So currently P8, as the rest of the drivers are of course yet to go into the pits. But just under 5 seconds are separating Declan to Jan. Looks like Declan's gained a bit of time there. Yeah, must have perhaps potentially made a mistake. Because there are other factors under play here. But nevertheless, that puts Declan in provisional P8. Kalen P3. Through the left-hander of Nets. And up to the right-hander of Panasonic. 3 seconds separating himself to his fellow South African, the King of Monza. All drivers staying out. See, this is another thing to consider as well. You've got them using different tyre compounds, and then you've also got different tyre wear and when they pit with that as well. All makes a difference to the final laps of the race here at Fuji for the eDTM Season 4. As they make their way underneath the Audi sports sign, Kalen into the left-hander of Coca-Cola. Through the hairpin. Huskinen in the pits and out the pits. And the King of Monza, 12.5 seconds separating him to Holman in P1. Question is, as Holman makes his way through nets and enters Panasonic, is he going to pit in lap 14? Lovely guys, Holman, and a very quick dude. And into the pits, here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. This is where it is all going to change for many of the drivers here out on track. Kalen and the King of Monza are probably going to enter the pits as well. Looks like they are, yeah. Kalen's in the pits. The driver's staying out though. Holman with a fresh set of soft tyres. Mediums, sorry. So he did start on the softs, and Declan started on the mediums. So now these drivers have swapped around. Holman's decided to stay out a little bit longer perhaps and use that open track, stay out of the way of traffic, keep in the flow. Utilise some time there. Just under 7 seconds separating himself between P1, but of course he is yet to pit. So we've got 12 seconds of time. I'm not sure on how many laps there are. Gran Turismo would be wise to put that timer on there as well, but nevertheless, can Declan bring down that time as he is on the soft tyres in his Lamborghini Huracan GT3, hard on the brakes and into the right-hander of Dunlop. Okay then, so through Panasonic, and he's got the soft tyres on, but he's only really gained about 0.2 of a second there in that lap, so He's most certainly going to have to pick up the pace if that's the case. But either way, a P2 is a well-deserved P2 from Declan there, putting on an absolute stonker of a performance. But Holman is an incredible driver, and proving it here at Fuji for the eDTM Alien Lobby Season 4. And 4 seconds are separating him and the King of Monza in provisional P3. Looks like we've got a fight here, side-by-side action between the Aston Martin and McLaren. Looking to take the inside line. You can tell just from the body language of the car that he wants that position. Trying to keep that car as stable as he possibly can, but it does look as though the McLaren has a very stable driving approach as they make their way through a Dunlop corner. And McLaren ahead of the Aston Martin, but the Aston Martin is looking to take that position away from the McLaren there in P5 as they make their way through the left-hander of Nets and up to Panasonic. Is he going to get a run? He's lost the back end. He's given the slipstream. And is he going to go defensive, or is the Aston Martin? Is he even going to get the run-in time? 0.3 of a second. 0.2 of a second. 0.1 of a second. Surely he's going to have a little look. He's making the move. He's got the inside line, and he's taking the racing line as the McLaren looking to get a better exit than the Aston Martin V12. But it looks as though Jan has taken P5 away from that McLaren, and what an incredible battle between those two drivers. And again, what incredible driving we are witnessing here. It's lovely to see clean driving and impressive both at the same time. But we've got an incredible fight here between P8 and 9, Easttown and Huskonen. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. With some pretty decent lap times there. I'm assuming it's now on the medium tyres. Chasing down Easttown, and just out of slipstream range go those two drivers. Holman 10 seconds up the road, losing time to Declan, but now about to begin lap 18 for the eDTM Season 4 here at Fuji in the Porsche 911. He's about to lose 5 digits, and it's about to become 4. But Holman is still putting on an absolute masterclass here at Fuji for the world to see. And there we go, 4 digits. He's doing his best, but not quite able to keep pulling away. But now pulled back 5 digits. He is still putting on a masterclass, it's got to be said. And 8 seconds separating Declan to P3. The King of Monza is now holding off Kalen, who I'm assuming is on soft tyres, chasing down the King of Monza on the mediums. Wow, that was a close one there. The King of Monza nearly losing P3 there. That would have been catastrophic. And Kalen looking to get back into the slipstream range. Not quite able to make it happen. And stung with the penalty. we have the fight for P5. With all three drivers in P5, 6 and 7 in the same nation there. Not quite in slipstream range, but he is pulling him in a touch as the McLaren hunts down the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin seemingly lost a fair bit of time there and now is in the danger zone of P6 as the McLaren hunts down that Aston Martin, exiting turn 1 and hurtling their way towards Coca-Cola corner under the Audi sign. Holman still holding off that fastest lap as well. He's in the slipstream range and driving this McLaren like a boss, hard on the brakes into the right-hander of Dunlop corner. Patient on the throttle. Sometimes when you're smooth, you can lose out on a little bit here and there, and it seems as though that's what's occurring here, because now there's a second gap between himself and P5. JP exiting Panasonic, as is East. Huskonen in P9, Leto in the pits, fueling up his Corvette and getting a fresh set of tyres on there. Holman under 9 seconds now, separating himself from P2 of Declan, and the King of Monza rocking P3 still, ahead of Kalen in P4. Managed to work his way back up into P4 though, has Kalen. Holman looking like he's struggling, not maybe struggling, but perhaps struggling to get the line he wants with the available grip of those racing tyres. And that gap's going to be 7 seconds soon, but it does look as though he has enough time here, providing he doesn't lose the car. And there's quite a few slides we're seeing here as their mediums are beginning to wear down. You can see all the rubbering from the tyres at the exit of Panasonic there. Another slide for Holman as Declan exits Panasonic and continues to hunt down Holman in P1, 8.3 seconds separating them both. 13 seconds though separating Declan between himself and King of Monza in P3. And Kalen 2 seconds. So it looks as though he hasn't quite able to capitalise there for the fight for P3, but we are moments away from this race being all over. Pace Motorsports. .5 seconds separating Kaling and the King of Monza. King of Monza's obviously made a mistake. Perhaps heated his tyres up a little bit too much, not really got the available grip that he wants. Keep your eyes on the prize. It is never over until it's over. For all of you that race, you will most certainly know that to be true. Through Dunlop corner and making his way up to the left-hander of Nets. Still fighting for P5 though is the McLaren in P6, and a great exit and slipstream. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, and just in the background we've got the fight for P7 between Easttown and JP, but nevertheless we stay on board with the McLaren as he makes his way up to turn 1 of Fuji as lap 22 commences. 0.3 of a second separating the McLaren and the Aston Martin V12 Vantage. Better corner though for the Aston Martin. Still in slipstream though is the McLaren. We'll see what they can make happen here, as Kalen is nearly in the slipstream range of P3. The fight for P3 is underway, and Holman looks like he's about to come under traffic, and Declan looks like he's even closer to Holman. It is all kicking off, ladies and gentlemen. He's in slipstream range. He makes his way through Dunlop. Into the left-hander of Nets. He's in slipstream range. Can he get a good exit here out of Panasonic? This is where it all matters. Oh, I don't think he's really got it. No, out of slipstream range. Oh, Kalen's going to be kicking himself there, but it's not all over. Declan P2, 7.2 seconds separating himself between P1 and Glory. Where we 12 seconds at the beginning of this, just under 12. We're now 7.3. Declan showing he's pushing that Lamborghini Huracan GT3 to its limits and putting on another absolute masterclass here with incredible consistency with 138s there. A couple of 39s, but only just under a tenth still. Separating 39 to 38. Holman very close to being 6 seconds away from Holman. Holman making his way through the back marker, and now DTR Declan is going to have to make his way through a back marker as well. Kalen now working his way back into slipstream range. Through the final Panasonic corner, can Kalen get a better run out this time? That looked good, that felt good, that sounded good, and he is pulling the King of Monza in. Slipstream has been enabled. DRS enabled. You can see him pulling him in. Not close enough to get on the brakes in time to get side by side. He's going to have to be earlier on the brakes as well. Worn tyres, slipstream. Looking good. Right hot on the heels now. King of Monza is going to be feeling the pressure, that is for sure. As the fight for P3 is underway. Got the Aston Martin holding off P3, but we've got Kalen after his incident working his way back through the pack and now in hot pursuit of that podium position, currently occupied by his fellow South African, the King of Monza. And the Aston Martin making his way up towards Dunlop corner. Oh, a little bit sideways there with the Aston Martin. Has that given the run to Kalen there as he makes his way up towards the left-hander of Nets? Is he able to capitalise? Final lap has been initiated. Holman taking P1 Glory. Declan taking P2. The King of Monza is just able to hold off Kalen there for podium position P3. What an incredible finale we've had here between the two South Africans, but King of Monza holding off P3. He's going to be on that podium, but nevertheless Kalen putting on another masterclass there in the Porsche, taking P4. An incredible drive from him. Well done, Sir Jan, taking P5 in the Aston Martin, and P6 goes to the McLaren, and another McLaren is taking P7 as he just holds off from Easttown in P8 in the Mercedes, and Huskinen in the Honda is rocking P9, and Leto P10, bringing that to a close. But ladies and gentlemen, Holman with a P1. One absolute clinic that gentleman has provided us here. Clean race and a pole position there from Holman. We'll save that replay. Okie doke. And there we go. So let's quickly check the replay before we end the stream there. And that brings round 2 of the eDTM Season 4 here at Fuji to a close. Holman taking P1, a gold glory, and putting on an absolute clinic. Declan with an incredible effort there. So Kalen was P3 to start, P4 right at the beginning, and ended P4. Holman losing out position there at the beginning of the race, side by side with Kalen. The King of Monza right on the heels of Kalen. So those two very evenly paced and put on a pretty good show for you viewers at home. And Holman having to work his way back through the pack as Jan takes P2. Inside corner, takes P2 back early on, and then a little bit of drama between Jan and Kalen, bringing him closer to the King of Monza. Incredible racing. Really enjoyed that one. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. Some really close racing from all of the drivers. thought Declan might have actually snuck it away there, but Holman keen to get that position back, and does, and then hunts down Declan in the Lamborghini Huracan. Two very different cars. Brilliant to see. Incredible driving from them. Really, really impressed. Pushing them cars to their limits, look. And there we go. So thank you very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Big congratulations to Holman, taking that gold glory and really putting on a clinic. A big thank you to everyone that's joined in. Thank you to Diaco Bubba Dream Team Racing. We're certainly looking forward to round number 3 of the eDTM. I've been your host, TMK. Thanks for smashing that like, and we will see you again very soon. Ciao, ciao. Excited. This is where they went side by side. Wow. Look at the Lamborghini pull back through. Wow. That Lamborghini is quick. And there it is. Thanks very much, guys. We'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.